23-year-old man has been jailed for life after stabbing to death two big issue sellers in a motiveless attack. Wayne Bust and Ian Watson Gladwish were selling the magazine in Birmingham city centre when they were attacked by John Ward. In an exclusive interview for BBC Midlands Today, the founder of the Big Issue says he considered shutting it down after their deaths. Ben Godfrey reports.
They were trying to earn a living. Ian Watson Gladwish and Wayne Bust saw sales of the Big Issue as a route to rebuild their lives.
On the day Ian was killed, I was working in my office, but I could actually hear him saying to other members of staff he was having a really good day, and I'll always remember that about Ian. Wayne, I'll always remember that he was just so lovely, just a really good person.
Their killer chose them at random. 23-year-old John Ward, homeless, addicted to heroin, a man whose paranoid schizophrenia went undiagnosed for a decade. He caught a train to Birmingham on January the 10th. Here he is buying a 20-centimetre long knife. He claimed voices in his head commanded him to kill. He drifts across the city centre. Here, in the bottom right, he meets the Big Issue sellers for the first time. There were hundreds of people here in Martineau Place and they described a horrendous scene. Two Big Issue sellers collapsed on the floor, people fleeing into shops for their own safety, and the police chasing a man covered in blood. Ward runs into a cinema and casually buys a drink before being arrested.
It came out in court that he's suffering from a mental illness, if you like, and what was shocking is this could have happened to anyone in that particular part of the city at that time.
In an exclusive interview, the founder of the Big Issue told me he considered closing the publication after the Birmingham murders.
It was an incredible shock. For me, I found it very difficult because being the person who put the whole thing together, I thought, God, you know, maybe I shouldn't have bothered. But the way in which the Big Issue has rallied, I think is exemplary.
Good afternoon, darling. Big Issue, please.
Street vendors are cautious. I met Michael working near the scene of the murders.
It makes me feel scared because I don't know when someone's going to pull a knife on me. We buy the mags and it's up to our responsibility to look after ourselves. So if I was to get into a fight, I wouldn't have no one helping me. I'd have to do it all on my own.
Last year, Ian Watson Gladwish appeared in the Big Issue speaking about a possible reconciliation with his children. He said, "I want to see them again, but not as a homeless person. I want them to be proud of me." John Ward slipped under the radar. Tonight, there are calls for greater awareness of mental health issues amongst the homeless community.
I used to see people who were mentally ill on the streets and who were harming themselves and could possibly harm others. And I spoke to ministers in the Blair government, in the Brown government, and even in the Cameron government. I said, what are you going to do about this?
Ward was jailed for life after admitting manslaughter through diminished responsibility. He may never be released from Ashworth Hospital, where last week he seriously injured a member of staff. Ben Godfrey, BBC Midlands Today, Birmingham.
The police watchdog